Apple's highly anticipated headphones are finally here, and as I'm sure you already know, the main talking point has been their eye-watering $550 price tag. The new AirPods Max bring all of Apple's smart tech features from the AirPods Pro, including instant device switching, spatial audio, and what Apple claim to be industry-leading noise cancelling. But at over $200 more than the current market leaders, expectations are understandably extremely high for these new headphones. In this video, we'll be reviewing all of the features the AirPods Max have to offer, testing out the noise cancelling, the microphone and audio quality, and seeing how they compare to the current best ANC headphones, Sony's WH-1000XM4. Could these headphones really be worth $550? Let's take a look. First of all, I want to start with the design, because these headphones are unlike any of its competitors. These huge satin finish ear cups have a very distinctive shape, and form a two-tone design with the headband. I'm sure this look will be pretty polarizing, but that's exactly Apple's intention. Just like with AirPods, when you see these out in the real world, you'll instantly recognize these as Apple headphones, even without any actual Apple branding. I do like that the headphones profile is very flat, but these huge ear cups are certainly making a statement, though this design is starting to grow on me. AirPods Max have a fantastic build quality. They feel extremely robust and sturdy, and unlike most headphones, are made of metal as opposed to plastic. The ear cups are made of a smooth aluminium, whilst the headband is made of stainless steel, wrapped in a rubber-like protective material. As a result, these are some of the most durable, but heaviest headphones I've ever tested, and are much heavier than most of the competitors. I think the only challenges for durability would be those rare few that offer sweat or water resistance, like Jabra's Elite 85H. AirPods Max don't, and so join the long list of headphones that I can't recommend for workouts. The ear cups have a good amount of soft padding, which is covered by a nice breathable fabric. The insides are lined with a fabric mesh too, and you can see the left-right indicators, along with the proximity sensors in each ear cup. Perhaps the best part of the design is that the ear cushions magnetically snap onto the headphones, so you can easily swap these out if needed, which is a really clever design choice that more headphones should be using. This makes replacements super easy, and you could also change up the design as you choose, since Apple will be offering these in all colours on their website very soon, albeit for an extortionate $69 or £75 in the UK. The ear cups can rotate 90 degrees to a flat position, and can pivot back and forth to offer flexibility for different head sizes. Sadly though, they don't fold away, so they're not the most travel-friendly of headphones. There's a good amount of extension from the headband to suit even large head sizes, and this operates on quite a stiff mechanism, which not only feels very high quality, but also ensures the ear cups stay in position once you've set the desired adjustment. This headband is rather unique, and uses a breathable and flexible fabric mesh, which has been designed to evenly distribute the weight across your head, which I think was sensible given how heavy these are. So in terms of comfort, it's a bit of a mixed bag. First of all, this headband is fantastic, and easily the most comfortable headband from any pair of headphones I've tested. The breathable mesh never gets warm, and this design eliminates that pressure buildup at the crown of your head that affects nearly all other headphones. The ear cups are really well designed too. They're deep and spacious to allow your ears room to breathe and stay cool, and this soft fabric is much better than any of the leather or leatherette materials you typically get, which I find get very warm over time and stick to your skin. So those are the good parts, but I found the clamping force was a little tight. The ear cups form a nice tight seal around the ear, which is great for passive noise isolation and minimizing sound leakage, though you definitely still get some with medium to high volumes. But after a couple of hours, they did start to feel a bit sore below the ears, so the clamping force might be an issue for those wanting to wear these for longer periods of time. I think it's mainly the weight that's the biggest problem. The headband design does a great job of alleviating a lot of the pressure, and these don't feel as heavy as the weight would suggest. But AirPods Max are still unmistakably heavy, and I find headphones from Sony and Bose much more comfortable. Overall, I think the design is pretty nice, and I love the build quality and premium materials used, but comfort is sacrificed as a result. I do have some concerns that this fabric headband will be easily torn or discoloured, as may the ear cushions or this softer headband material, particularly on the green and silver colours. A good way to protect the headphones would be in a protective carrying case, and this leads me onto the single worst aspect of these headphones altogether. You've probably all seen the memes, the carrying case looks like a purse or even a bra, but more to the point, it doesn't serve its purpose as a carrying case at all. First of all, the headband is entirely exposed, so there's no protection here whatsoever on what is clearly the most delicate part of the headphones. But then you look at the ear cups, and these are really exposed too, and can easily become scratched and damaged. Okay, Apple have thought to leave the lightning port open so you can charge these whilst they're in the case, but why they've left the rest of your $550 headphones unprotected, I have no idea. Since the headphones don't fold away, you have to rotate the ear cups flat and then pop open the magnetic seal on the case to place the headphones back, and the headband then becomes a handle for you to carry them. This case is called the smart case, because AirPods Max can enter a low power state once they detect that they're inside and are left stationary. It works a little bit like the smart cover for the iPad, and is made from the same materials, including the microfiber interior. But honestly, there's nothing smart about this case at all. In fact, it's one of the dumbest design choices Apple has ever made for a product. You know, like when they put the charging port underneath the Magic Mouse. I'm going to come back to a full Sony comparison a bit later, but just for now, here's Sony's carrying case, which works like basically every other headphones case on the market. It has a hard protective exterior that fully protects all of the headphones inside, and it even has extra space for your cables and accessories. You can zip up the case and throw it in your bag, knowing full well that your expensive headphones are safe and sound, just as you'd expect from a carrying case. How Apple could get this so wrong, I just don't know. I would say that this is a severe case of style over substance, but this case even looks terrible too, so it's really just an embarrassingly poor design choice overall. Okay, so putting the terrible case aside and getting back to the headphones, the ear cup surfaces are completely bare, but on the edges you can see some of the 9 total microphones that are used for phone calls, talking to Siri, and importantly, for noise cancelling. The mics picked up my voice really well, especially when using the headphones in loud environments like next to passing traffic, as I am right now. So hopefully this will demonstrate how the microphones try to isolate your voice, and how the headphones perform well for phone calls. Switching over to AirPods Pro, these are generally considered to be the gold standard for phone calls when it comes to true wireless earbuds, and though they give a very similar performance, AirPods Max seem to isolate my voice better when the outside environment is very loud. And finally, if I switch over to Sony's WH-1000XM4, this should give you an idea of performance versus another pair of headphones. I personally think the M4's mic performance is pretty good, but I know some have complained about them before. And for phone call performance, AirPods Max are still louder and clearer. What you won't find on these ear cups is a 3.5mm audio port, which is pretty disappointing. You've just got a single lightning port for charging, and, if preferred, for wired listening too. Having just a single lightning port means you're very limited when it comes to wired listening, and because of third-party compatibility issues, you'll likely need to spend a ridiculous $35 for Apple's Lightning to 3.5mm audio cable. No, this cable does not come included in the box, only the charging cable does. The single lightning port also means you can't charge the headphones whilst listening to music, and worst of all, when the headphones do run out of battery, you can't keep listening passively using a cable. The majority of people won't be interested in the slightly higher quality you can get from wired listening, which I'll cover fully later. But not being able to switch to passive listening once the battery runs out is a huge drawback of these headphones, and something a lot of the competitors offer. You also can't use the Lightning to USB-C cable for direct music playback from your MacBook, for example. You'd need to buy a Lightning to 3.5mm cable to use instead. If you wanted to connect wired to your iPhone, the setup becomes even more ridiculous. Lightning to 3.5mm cable, purchased separately, to 3.5mm to Lightning adapter, also purchased separately. Apple's 3.5mm cable is also only available in black or white, so unless you've got the silver or space grey AirPods Max, the cable isn't going to match the headphones either. The headphones redeem themselves with the controls. There are no touch controls here, you've just got 2 buttons, one that controls the noise cancelling mode, and the other is a larger version of the digital crown from the Apple Watch. This unique controller lets you rotate the crown to precisely control volume, which I really like, whilst pressing it gives you playback and phone call controls. Both buttons give a distinctive click when pressed, and I enjoy the higher precision here than you get with touch controls. I just wish the buttons were placed lower down, where my thumb instinctively rests when reaching up to the ear cup. The digital crown is a nice addition too, but it was really disappointing to see that you don't get any haptic feedback like you do on the Apple Watch. This would have been such a great addition here, especially in headphones costing over $500, and would have put AirPods Max controls ahead of the competition. Since there are proximity sensors in both ear cups, you can also lift either one to automatically pause and play your music, and this also works when you hang the headphones around your neck, although annoyingly, the ear cups rotate upwards rather than down. In the Bluetooth settings menu, you can customize the button for the noise cancelling modes and the rotation direction of the digital crown, as well as toggling the automatic head detection and switching features. You may have noticed that there's no power button at all, and this has actually turned out to be a really useful feature. When you take AirPods Max off and leave them stationary for 5 minutes, they go into a low power mode to preserve battery. As soon as you put them back on your head, they immediately reconnect, so most of the time they're always ready to be used, which is really convenient. If you leave them for 72 hours, they then switch to an ultra low power mode, which turns off Bluetooth and Find My for even greater battery preservation. So you can kind of think of this as turning them off, but you can still wake them easily by putting them on. Of course, the concern here is how much battery is drained when the headphones are essentially always on, but from my testing even in the regular low power mode, AirPods Max preserve battery life extremely well. I personally didn't see a big difference from the ultra low power mode, and overall, I found them to only drain battery slightly faster than when you turn off any other pair of headphones. So actually, the convenience the instant wake feature gives you has only been a really nice benefit. I mentioned earlier that putting the headphones in the smart case triggers the low power mode, and it does so immediately rather than after 5 minutes. But the ultra low power mode trigger is only shortened to 18 hours. So given how well the headphones preserve battery on their own, this only highlights just how useless the case really is. Since we're on the subject of battery life, the AirPods Max offer 20 hours of playback with noise cancelling turned on. This is pretty good, but many of the competitors are now offering 30 hours or more. The charging time, however, is very good, with a full charge taking around 2 hours, but a quick 5-minute fast charge can give you over 1.5 hours of playback. Annoyingly, the headphones charge with Lightning, not USB-C like any sensible pair of headphones, but it is USB-C at the other end of the cable, which for some people may bring back that issue of not being able to charge the headphones since a USB-C wall adapter isn't included, a problem I've already made a full video on. You can get these wall adapters pretty cheaply now, but the older USB-A style Lightning cables will work too. There's also no MagSafe charging for AirPods Max, just in case anyone expected this expensive pair of headphones to come with some fancy MagSafe or wireless charging. Unfortunately, it's just Lightning. But one of the benefits of using AirPods Max with your Apple devices is that you can accurately track the battery and charging status. Plus, you can get push notifications when the battery runs low. And this leads me on to the various smart features that come with the Apple ecosystem. These features, brought by the headphone's H1 chip, make the AirPods family unique, such as instantly connecting to every Apple device you own with just a single tap after taking them out of the box. You've then got automatic switching between these devices, changing the audio source simply by picking up the next device, and of course you can manually switch devices with just a couple of taps too. This allows instant device switching between more than 2 devices, which beats the multi-point you have with headphones like Sony's M4s. However, it's exclusive to Apple devices, and multi-point isn't. AirPods Max also give you hands-free access to Siri, which can announce your messages through the headphones automatically. You can also locate and trigger a sound through the headphones using the Find My app, so location tracking comes built in. You can also easily share the audio from the headphones with another pair of AirPods or Beats headphones, so 2 people can listen at the same time. Convenience is the key word when it comes to any of the AirPods family, and this is the fundamental reason you'd buy them, including AirPods Max, ahead of any other headphones. From the instant pairing to waking when you put them on your head, to automatic device switching, AirPods Max are really convenient headphones to use, especially if you have multiple Apple devices. But having an Apple device is the key point here. Nearly all of these smart features are exclusive to Apple devices, and you'll only be able to take full advantage of them if you're invested in the Apple ecosystem. For Android users, there's almost no good reason to buy them. The Apple exclusivity affects the wireless performance too, and the Bluetooth range for your Apple devices is fantastic, though still very good on Android too. The latency is also very low, so watching movies with AirPods Max is absolutely no problem. Unfortunately, it's still a tiny bit too high over Bluetooth for me to be able to confidently use these when editing a video, so if you're a Mac user wondering if these could replace your reference headphones, they're no match for a wired pair. The codec support favours Apple devices too, since AAC is the optimal codec for listening on your iPhone. But on Android, you've got options like aptX and LDAC, codecs that other headphones like Sony's M4 offer, but that aren't supported on AirPods Max. So, delving deeper into the audio technology, Apple's transparency mode returns with AirPods Max, and it works extremely well. This is the feature that turns on the microphones to pump in the outside noise, sort of like the opposite of noise cancelling, to let you hear your surroundings. This is easily the best transparency mode I've used. It sounds very natural and clear, and not overly amplified like with the Galaxy Buds, for example. It's almost as though you're not wearing the headphones at all. But I was more interested in what Apple describes as industry-leading ANC, a title that I'd say belongs to Sony. I think the first thing to note is that the noise cancelling is very impressive, and AirPods Max have some of the best ANC on the market. I didn't feel that cabin pressure-like sensation that you can get with some headphones, and I was pleased to see that none of the listening modes has any effect on the audio quality, which I'll cover in just a second. But compared to the market leaders, the noise cancelling still wasn't as good as Sony's WH-1000XM4s, so I'm not sure how Apple arrived at their industry-leading claims. The performance is similar with lower frequencies, like the hum of an air conditioning unit, but Sony's M4s perform much better with higher frequencies, and generally blocked out more sound than the AirPods Max. Even Sony's Mark III headphones perform slightly better, although you could make a strong argument for Sony occupying the number 1 and 2 spots for ANC, so I'd place AirPods Max just behind these two for performance. Perhaps Apple are factoring in phone call performance to their bold claims, since this does still use noise cancelling technology, and the phone call performance is very good. But as impressive as the ANC performance is, it doesn't take the crown away from Sony. The final aspect to cover is of course the audio quality, and this is an area where Apple have typically been behind the competition. First and foremost, the AirPods Max sound quality is fantastic, delivering more than enough to impress the average listener, and a sound that I think even audiophiles can appreciate. Apple's custom drivers have been designed to produce sound with ultra-low distortion, which provides a really impressive low end. The bass is deep, but doesn't boom or muddy the audio, even at higher volume levels. It doesn't thump as hard as some of the more bass-heavy headphones like Sony's M4s, but it does add a richness and weight to your music that's very pleasing. The audio sounds natural and not overly processed. The mid-range offers a wide soundstage with enough clarity to identify individual instruments, and vocals shine without becoming too bright or forward-sounding. The high end has been tuned to offer a very pleasant listening experience, free from any harsh sibilants, but it's also missing the crisp and detailed sound of headphones like Sennheiser's Momentum 3 Wireless, so this is perhaps the aspect that audiophiles will find lacking. The sound is really nicely balanced, but I wouldn't go as far as to describe these as flat or neutral, like a pair of professional reference headphones, because you can hear that the audio has been tuned for the average listener. But the advantage of that is that I think most people will really enjoy the sound signature. AirPods Max utilize an H1 chip in each ear cup to power computational audio, which essentially describes the real-time analysis and adjustment of the audio to optimize the listening experience. For example, Apple's Adaptive EQ continuously analyzes what you're listening to based on the fit and seal, and dynamically adjusts the audio to give a consistent listening experience. This is used in conjunction with real-time analysis of your environment and the subsequent active noise cancelling to ensure you can stay focused on your music. This does work very well and provides a consistency that will be ideal for the average listener, but I personally would like to have the option of tweaking the audio to my listening preference with a custom EQ. But I think the AirPods Max defining feature is spatial audio, and this is really what delivers the unparalleled listening experience that Apple are claiming. Spatial audio uses the accelerometers and gyroscopes in both the headphones and your iPhone or iPad to dynamically track your head movement, and then adjust the directionality of the sound to give you a surround sound-like experience. This provides immersive 3D audio, and listening to the crashing ocean waves in Greyhound or watching a gunfight in The Mandalorian is truly spectacular. The two big limitations of spatial audio at the moment are that it's only supported on certain platforms like Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus, and also on certain devices like newer gen iPhones and iPads. As immersive as spatial audio is, you're still limited to these small screens, and it doesn't compare to a more cinematic experience of watching on a TV. Spatial audio is excellent, and has fantastic potential too. It's just a bit limited at the moment. So who should buy AirPods Max? Well, with AirPods, this is usually the time where I'll tell you that whilst there may be other headphones offering better sound quality or battery life, it may still be worth spending extra on them for the added convenience. There's no denying that those exclusive features, like instant device setup and seamless device switching, provide a really convenient user experience, one that feels polished and premium. But many of the competitors offer some form of multi-device pairing too, including with non-Apple devices. Not to mention the fact that they all reconnect automatically to the last paired device anyway, which is the main feature you'll be using before any device switching comes into play. For Android users, it's a no-brainer. There are plenty of better and cheaper headphones out there because you won't get any of the Apple exclusive features. As nice as those little extra benefits are, AirPods Max aren't the best sounding, they're not the most comfortable, and they don't have the best noise cancelling. And at $550, I just feel like they needed to claim a few more of those best-in-class titles in order to be able to justify them over the competition. Take Sony's WH-1000XM4, for example. When you compare the two stat for stat, they beat the AirPods Max in most categories. Aside from the build quality, they have a much better design that features USB-C, a 3.5mm audio port, and folding ear cups that let you pack the headphones into a smaller form factor for travel. And you already know my thoughts about the cases each of these headphones comes with. I do like the AirPods' physical controls, but the headphones are feature and customization light compared to Sony's M4s, which have features like quick attention, speak to chat, and multi-device pairing with non-Apple devices, features that actually challenge Apple's convenience advantage. Sony wins for battery life too, but more importantly, when the headphones run out of battery, you can still keep listening using a cable that comes included in the box and that doesn't need an adapter either. You've also got superior codec support, better noise cancelling, and the headphones are much more comfortable to wear. With audio quality, it's a bit more of a subjective choice, but at least Sony gives you a custom EQ to suit your listening preference. So for me, they're still the best ANC headphones you can buy, and they're cheaper than AirPods Max. You could actually buy Sony's M4s and AirPods for less than the price of AirPods Max, giving you a combination of immersive noise-cancelling audio and the convenience of AirPods. And in fact, I would highly recommend doing this instead. There's no question that AirPods Max are a great pair of headphones, and if you have many Apple devices and do end up buying them, I don't think you'd be disappointed, unless, like me, you find them uncomfortable. I just think there's not enough here to justify the ridiculous price tag, not when the competition is so fierce. But they've completely sold out in every single colour worldwide, so perhaps there's something I'm missing. If so, let me know what you think about these headphones down in the comments section. For now though, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.